What if I told you that a girl once slept in subway stations, studied by streetlights, and went days without food? Yet today, she walks the halls of one of the most prestigious universities in the world, Harvard? This is not a movie. This is not fiction. This is the real story of Liz Murray. A story of resilience, pain, survival, and above all, the unbreakable human spirit. Act 1, The Darkest Beginning. Liz was born in the Bronx, New York City, a place where dreams often fade before they even begin. Her parents were intelligent, but both addicted to heroin. They spent what little money they had on drugs. As a child, Liz remembers the empty fridge. The nights when there was no heat, no electricity, and no hope. By age 9, Liz was pushing shopping carts filled with stolen food. Not because she was a thief, but because she was starving. And yet, through all of this, she loved her parents. Her mother, though addicted, was gentle and warm in her lucid moments. Father, a blind poet, taught her to love books, even when they were broke. But love wasn't enough. At 15, Liz's mother died of AIDS. Her father moved into a homeless shelter. And Liz? She had nowhere to go. So she hit the streets. No money. No family. Just a backpack. And a dream she hadn't even dared to imagine yet. Act 2, Surviving the Streets. Living on the streets of New York City is brutal. Liz slept on park benches. She washed up in public bathrooms. But amidst the darkness, she had one thing most people overlooked. A mind that refused to break. She watched other teens laugh as they left school. She envied them, not their clothes, not their phones, but their routine. The idea of stability, of being wanted somewhere, of having a purpose. One day, she made a decision. It wasn't grand. It wasn't dramatic. She said to herself, "I'm going to go back to school." No one believed her. No one expected her to last a week. But Liz wasn't there to meet expectations. She was there to destroy them. Act 3, The Rise. She found an alternative high school, the Humanities Preparatory Academy. There were no uniforms. No fancy walls. Just open minds. And one teacher who saw something in her. For the first time, Liz felt safe. For the first time, she saw a glimpse of who she could become. She studied every night, even if it meant reading under the flickering light of a subway platform. She turned in assignments covered in smudges, not because she was careless, but because she didn't have a desk. Or even a table. Despite everything, she graduated high school in just 2 years, while being homeless. And not just graduated, she became top of her class. But Liz didn't stop there. To Harvard University. Yes, Harvard, a name that feels like another planet to someone living on the streets. She wrote her application essay not about achievements, but about survival. About hunger. About pain. About losing a mother and keeping hope alive. And guess what? Harvard said yes. Act 4, From Subway Sleeper to Ivy League Scholar. The day she walked onto the Harvard campus, Liz didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just looked up and whispered, "I made it, Mom." Because in that moment, she wasn't just Liz Murray, the homeless girl. She was a symbol. A message. A living proof that circumstances do not define your destiny. Liz didn't just attend Harvard, she thrived there. And then, she gave back. Became a speaker. A writer. A voice for those who had none. She wrote a best-selling memoir, Breaking Night, a book that inspired millions. She spoke on Oprah. She founded a foundation to support youth facing homelessness. Because Liz knew, surviving is hard. But using your story to save others, that's what makes it meaningful. Act 5, The Power of Choice, 2200 hours to 2800. There are two kinds of pain in this world. The pain that breaks you. And the pain that builds you. Liz chose the second. She could have blamed the world. She could have vanished into bitterness. She had every excuse to give up. But she didn't. She took ownership of her life. Every time she was hungry, every time she was cold, every time she slept with one eye open, she used it as fuel. Because the truth is, you can't control where you come from, but you can control where you go. Maybe you're watching this right now, feeling broken. Maybe life hasn't been fair. Maybe people let you down. Maybe your story hasn't been kind so far. But let me tell you something, from Liz's journey. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are possibility. Liz Murray went from being homeless, sleeping on cold city benches, to sitting in the warm halls of Harvard. Not because she had privilege. Not because she got lucky. But because she refused to be forgotten. She chose to fight. She chose to believe. She chose hope, when it made no sense to. This is Soulfeel Stories. And this was the story of Liz Murray. If this touched your soul, subscribe, share, and never stop believing in second chances. Because sometimes, the greatest stories begin in the darkest places.